Good evening. Welcome to the Cheltenham Exchange and our Christmas special, Christmas racing special preview type show. So, Merry Christmas, everybody, before we get underway.
Merry Christmas.
We have got half of our team on board. We've got Ian and Alex with us. Evening, gents.
Evening,
we've also got two very special guests who've kindly come on to share their expertise with us, looking over the festive period. So we've got Jack Birkett, who is Racing Interest on Twitter. Great channel. There's a lot of what are the live things you do?
The live spaces every Tuesday.
That's the one.
Yeah, I say every Tuesday. Yeah. I've not been as consistent with this year, just with stuff going on. I know me and Liam are working on the watch along, so I've sort of prioritised the watch along for the last few weeks. But hopefully in the new year, I've got a load of guest lines up. Looking forward to it.
Top man. So Racing Interest on Twitter. I'm sure everybody watching will already be following, but if you're not, get on there. And also with us, Tipstar winner on Racing TV. Absolutely superb, Mr. Liam Firkin, anti-post angle on Twitter. So congratulations, Liam, before we get underway.
Thank you very much, AJ. No, cheers. Yeah, it was a really good experience, and obviously quite fortunate to be one of the winners. So looking forward to everything that comes with it. But looking forward to this tonight as well. So much good racing on.
Spot on. Ian's paid you to say that, hasn't he? Make sure it's cleared. Don't trust that man.
He's a con man.
Yeah, he is a con man. So, welcome, guys. Merry Christmas to you both as well. And this is going to be highly disjointed, as I'm totally unprepared. I was just telling Jack that we went on a Christmas, the missus and I went on a Christmas shopping trip to Liverpool on Friday afternoon. But we seemed to miss the shops in favour of the pubs, which led to us having to book a second night in the hotel. And then we didn't get home till yesterday afternoon. Just in time for the football, which we're not going to talk about. So, yes, Christmas racing, an absolute abundance of Christmas racing. So we're going to kick it off Boxing Day, King George Day at Kempton. We've highlighted a certain number of races we're going to look at. Obviously, we're not going through everything, or this could go on for about 4 hours. So highlighted a few races, and then we'll probably pick anything else that catches the eye of anybody on the same day. And then we'll do the same for Friday, Saturday, isn't it? 27th, 28th?
Yeah.
Totally lost my days at the moment. Good. So King George Day at Kempton, and I think were we going to kick off with Kauto Star, were we in?
Can do, yeah, we can kick off with that.
If we're going in time order. So 120 at Kempton, Kauto Star. Novices Chase, we've got 5 declared in here. Highland, Masaccio, the Jukebox Man, Welcome to Cartrees, and White Rhino. So who wants to kick us off here? We'll have to come to one of the special guests. So Liam, do you want to take us into this one?
Yeah, more than happy to. I am quite excited for this race. I'm really keen on the Jukebox Man for the Brown Advisory. Now, I'm not sure if all listeners of the Cheltenham Exchange are aware, but there's a bit of a curse on this race with the Brown Advisory. I don't mean to jump ahead to Cheltenham, but just to touch on it, no horse has ever won the Kauto Star and then gone on to win the Browns. However, when you then actually look back, for example, the last decade, you've got the likes of Conagry, who was a non-runner in the Brown Advisory, as was T for Two, Le Bagoir, Chamblou, Brave Man's Game, and Ile Francais. So 60% of the horses that have won this in the last 10 years haven't even run in the race. And then you've had a couple of poor renewals with the likes of Black Corton and Time Hill winning it, who obviously the latter was reverted back to hurdles. in terms of this race itself, the White Rhino's been look good on both of his starts over fences. Obviously, he's won twice, but he has only beaten horses rated 1-2-5 and 1-2-3. So probably one for handicaps perhaps later in the season. Masaccio is a horse I've always really liked for the O'Neills and for Alan King. He does have some decent form last season, beating Jinko Blue over hurdles. Sorry, no, he was beaten just by a nose, but he was giving weight for age that day. But I just can't see him reversing the form with the Jukebox Man. Highland's interesting. I'm not sure if you want to go this way round, but his form's been franked on a couple of occasions over fences. He smashed Transmission by 15 lengths at the October meet at Cheltenham. He's since come and won at the November meeting. At that same meeting, he beat Springwell Bay, who then franked the form, running a really good race, giving weight away to two really nice horses in Caldwell Potter and Django Bay. But I suppose I'll just come back to the original point. I hope he wins. I think he wins. The Jukebox Man, it wouldn't be a bet for me. I don't really play at these sort of short prices. But for my own pocket, where I'm speaking from, I hope he does just win and wins well and can break that Kauto Brown's curse in March.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Liam. Great start there. You were impressed with the Newbury run then, Jukebox Man?
Yeah, I thought he was really impressive, and you'd like to think he'd improve for the step up in trip as well. But yeah, he was electric over his fences, I thought, for the first time out.
Lovely. Okay, so you touched on Highland there, so I'm going to take a punt that Ian might have something to say about that one in particular.
No, well, I'm going to join Liam, and I like the Jukebox Man as well. As Liam was saying about the Form 9s, second behind instead of Story Albert Bartlett, who's won since going chasing. He was second behind Dancing City, Aintree. One at the Newbury meeting, I think it was, beat horses like Johnny Hugh and Captain Teague. As much as I like Highland, Nico's form at the minute is it's dreadful. He just seems to win on the top horses. Let's just say that. So he'll probably keep his, I don't know, his form for that. But yeah, he's last, I don't know, 20 or 30 runs are very, very, very disappointing. So that's put me off Highland. But I'll go with Liam and I'll stick with the Jukebox Man as well.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Jack, are you on the train?
To tell for us so far, I really like the Jukebox Man. He's been on the short side now. I like what Liam said. He's 6-5, not normally a price that I'll be playing at. But when I'm looking at the market, I'm looking at the opposition he's got against him. Maybe 6-5 is a bit fair, and maybe it's a price worth taking. I think he blows these away. Masaccio was second to him at Newbury. Jumped out to his left to touch it a few fences. Jumped out to his left marginally to I think it was 3 or 4 out and clattered it. Ran on from nowhere from the back of the telly and finished second. I think he was going to be 2 lengths there. So he's one to keep an eye on. But I think going right-handed, if he carries on jumping to his left, it wasn't anything too major, but it's something that you've got to keep in your head. He's going right-handed now. Maybe a bit of a problem. Highland, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think he's good enough to beat the Jukebox Man. That's just my honest opinion. I think I really rate the Jukebox Man. I think he's got a big season ahead of him. And like Liam, I think it's between him and Dancing City for the RSA. I think it's between these two. And he's probably the biggest prospect from the 3 mile novice division anyway, especially over fences. I really like him here. But I will just mention White Rhino, what Liam said. He's around 7-1. If he can try and nick a place, he didn't beat all, or he hasn't beat all that much just yet, but he's winning well. Another favourite at the Nasty Fords, 2 out of Haydock when he won. Sort of length. We don't know what would have happened there, but looking at the paper, he's not done a foot wrong yet. He jumps well. But yeah, like the lads, as born as it is, I think the Jukebox Man just wins, and I think he wins easily.
Lovely. Thank you, Jack. Alex, is it full house for the Jukebox Man?
Yeah, I think the lads have already said everything I wanted to say. I'll be getting stuck on the Jukebox Man. I put him up for the Challow, put him up for the Bartlett, so I'm not going to desert him now.
So, man, nice and succinct. Well, it's a good start. Full house for the Jukebox Man. That round even money's on Bet365 at the moment. Could be a value bet, Ian.
Get you play 50p.
Okay. Okay, so should we stick at Kempton and go on to the big race of the day?
Let's do
King
it.
George. Let's do it.
Go.
So King George, 2:30 on Boxing Day at Kempton. So Jack, special guest, we'll let you kick things off here.
Yeah, know what? To be honest with you, OJ, I was very, very keen on one. I've been keen on him a few weeks, and I know Liam's the same. Liam's a lot more keen than I was on him, so I won't steal his thunder. But so when I seen Splan's Towers being declared, I was like, obviously, of course, it makes the race very competitive. But I just think I just really didn't want him to be declared because I thought it was Banbridge's race to lose. It really did. Questions about if he'll stay to 3 miles. I don't think he'll have an issue. He get his ground, which is going to be good. I'm hoping it'll be good anyway. Good to soft shouldn't be an issue as much as it has been. He ran very well against the Nergamine in the hilly way. He definitely would have won before and cheating at the last. But yeah, it's a bit up in the air, OJ, to be honest, because I think Banbridge would be a really, really confident bet for me. And I just had a feeling Splan's Tower wouldn't come because of the good ground. But he's being declared. Listen, he still might not show up, but it looks like he's got him. I couldn't touch Il Francais at the price. I don't know how he's that price. He's done everything wrong since his Kauto star win. I don't know how he can be 9-2. He'll be 10-1 and still wouldn't touch him. If he wins a 4-1, 9-2, then I'm happy to be proven wrong with that price. Grey Dawning, the Haydock run. I seen a stat. 14 of the runners that ran on Betfair Chase, they've come out and only one of them have won. And then the one that won, General Madano, was then pulled up after it. So it's taken a lot of it's taken it out of a lot of horses. The latest one was the one I backed, Steel Alley, was pulled up at Ascot the other day. 16 of them, or there might have even been more, but I know it was for certain. It was definitely minimum 16 that been pulled up or at the back of the telly since that Haydock run. So I couldn't trust him as Grey Dawning, and he is drifting as such. Maybe that's because Splan's Tower's come in, but I couldn't touch him. The home press, he was running a good race right before he fell against Braveman's game. I don't think he'd have won, but he's been off I think he's ran once in a year and a half. Like, 10-1 shot, not for me. Corbett's Cross, everyone knows me. I'm massively keen on him for the Ryanair. And then obviously you got Braveman's Games 20-1, who's massively overpriced. Sorry, I just went through the whole field there and giving an example for every single horse. But to get down to the nitty gritty, Banbridge, I've backed him for the last 2 months. I'm not gonna desert him now. He's been smashed into 5-1. I think he stands a good chance. It's just the only danger, and I wish he wasn't turning up as Splan's Tower. He could be anything, couldn't he?
Lovely. Thank you very much, Jack. So Banbridge, just about sticking with Banbridge. Go on then, Al. Give us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, just like a sort of general thing on the race, really. I know that some people on Twitter have been complaining that it's not the best King George ever, and whilst I agree in terms of there's no sort of superstar in here, it is actually quite a quality field, really. Like, there's a lot of depth in there, and you can make a case for quite a lot of them. There's a few in there that I really don't like, so I'll be swerving those. But I think the horse I'm going to be picking is Long Press. I think it's a bit of a stupid price, really, at 12-1. I think it's an each way to nothing, really. Can't really see him outside of the front three. I mean, Venetia's horses are in great form. He was going really well when he came down this in 2022. He's also got a really good record fresh as well. He's 4 from 4 when he's actually been out fresh. So, he'll be putting in his best work at this time of the year whilst he's, as I say, still fresh. So, yeah, that's the one I'm going to stick with. I think you can get about 12-1 still, which, I mean, as I say, each way to nothing. And I think he definitely does have win chances. And, yeah, Long Press for me.
Lovely. Thank you, Alex. You stole my little tiny bit of thunder there, because the tiny bit of research I had done, I had a look at Long Press because I'd read someone else had said about his record going fresh. When April 21 after a 773-day break, December 21 after a 223-day break, November 22 after a 232-day break, and January this year after a 391-day break. So, yeah, clearly likes it first time out. Thank you, Al. Liam, so we've had a bit of a sneak from Jack that you've got one in here.
Yeah, Jack's touched on it, and he's ended up siding with him. I certainly do not want to see Banbridge up the left-hand side of Charlie Deutsch and La Homme Press. Obviously, it's not overly exaggerated in terms of his jump into the left, but it is significant enough to start pushing whatever is that side of him wider and wider. If I said I wasn't bothered about Splan's Tower being supplemented, I'd be a liar. I was gutted to see him turning up here. I think he's a really proper horse. They've taken their time with him. He's the biggest danger. Jack's made a decent enough case for Banbridge, so I won't reiterate what he's already said, but I am quite a fan of trends to support a selection. Either I've already kind of made an opinion and then look at the trends to see if the horse also fits those, especially in the big races, or use it as a way to initially get into the race. And he just does fit the bill, Banbridge, apart from the fact that he hasn't won over the 3 miles yet, but he is obviously a course and distance winner. But essentially, you need a horse that's rated over 160. Banbridge is 165. You want them to have had 5 wins over fences or more. He has 5. Wanting to have won at the track. He won at Kempton over the intermediate trip last year and needed every yard of it. One that's in the top 3 of the betting. He ticks that box. He's a grade 1 winner multiple times. He has a 40% win rate, and he's at the perfect age as an 8-year-old. Generally speaking, you want a 7 to 9-year-old. So he ticks the trends, but also to your eye, and also how he's travelled around here. He doesn't lack toe. It's obviously a more fastly run 3 miles than most other staying chases. And look, I was absolutely buzzing this morning when Paul Townend was booked. I thought you might come over and get him as a spare if Lossiemouth came. So there's no one better in the saddle. I'll be there on the day. I hope I'm jumping the railings to hug him because I'm on at nice prizes. And yeah, it'll be a nice little Christmas bonus.
Lovely. Thank you, Liam. So another on Banbridge. Go on then, Ian. Finish it off for us.
I'm a bit worried now because one of the horses I like, it doesn't seem like Jack does. And it's Grey Dawning. So I've got 2. I know he's second in the Betfair Chase. I know he was saying about it seemed that he was trying to hold on to him till the last, but a big mistake cost him and obviously gave Royal Pagani the advantage and won. Grey Dawning has won here before at Kempton in a hurdle race in 2022. May prefer the ground to be a bit softer. Most of his wins have been on soft, maybe good to soft. So, but I don't know if there's any rain forecast. The other one I like at each way, I think it's about 14 to 1, is Envoy Allen. He's got his conditions, good ground, right-handed. He's running this race before, but I think they said that the ground was too soft and tacky. Didn't really run that well. Rachel back on board. I just thought could be a nice price of 14 to 1. So I'll go with Grey Dawning for the win and Envoy Allen.
Ian, I'll just say, sorry, dead quick. I actually do really like Liam. Will tell you, I was actually all over it. Grey Dawning for the Betfair Chase. I love him as a horse. I think he's an even better chaser. It's just that send that's going around that Haydock meeting. That just put him. Otherwise, I'd be all over him.
The ground was absolutely brutal that day at Haydock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Absolutely brutal. Lovely. Well, that's the King George. Funny what you were saying there, Al, when you started talking. I was looking at it earlier and I thought, I mean, assuming all 11 turn up, if all 11 turn up, it at least it's a good looking competitive race compared to what was there last year, 5 or 6 runners or something there. It's nice to see potentially a decent sized field, isn't it?
Yeah, they had 6 runners. 6 runners. Yeah. It is a much better field than 11 runners. It's a prop. It ran through that was it 2021? Was it when we had like a Manila Endo, Chantry House? We had like a 16 runner field, all like previous Cheltenham Festival winners, all turn up, and it was quality. I know half the mental pulled up like, but it was a quality race.
Lovely. Okay, so Liam and Jack both on Banbridge. Alex siding with Long Press, and Ian sticking with Grey Dawning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and an each way shout for Envoy Allen.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, gents. Right, I think the third race we were going to look at Boxing Day was over at Leopardstown. Would I be right, Ian?
Yeah. Should we do the Christmas Hurdle first?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Christmas Hurdle, Kempton. Yeah, this is the one you'd forgotten off the agenda, wasn't it?
I know. How can I forget this?
So, well, yeah, I mean, it's the big matchup that everybody's talking about. Is it going to happen? Lossiemouth against Constitution Hill. What do you reckon, Al?
I think it would take a very brave person to put a lot of money on Constitution Hill after everything that's happened with him. To me, I think it's just going to be a watch it and enjoy it race. I'm not too fussed about having a bet on either of them. I mean, obviously, Lossiemouth and Constitution Hill are miles better than the other two, or at least should be. I think the smart money probably would be on Lossiemouth because obviously you know that she's fit, she's well, and there's that big question mark on Constitution Hill whether he can sort of, it's not really roll back the years because it's only sort of 12 months ago when we last saw him, but it's just whether he can still be as good as he was after all the sort of the ailments that he's had. So, yeah, just to me, it's going to be a non-bet. Just sit and watch it and enjoy it for the sport because, yeah, it's probably two of the two best hurdlers in training, in my opinion, if Constitution Hill is as good as he was. So, yeah, just looking forward to seeing what happens, really.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason this race wasn't on the agenda, isn't it? Because it probably is just a watch race rather than a bet race, isn't it? To be honest, looking at it, it's
possibly. I think it was. We didn't cover this really last year when we done our Christmas special, but
okay.
Yeah, I echo basically what Alex is saying. It's going to be a watching brief. Lossiemouth, was it the Hatton's Grace she won? Is that fresh? And so Con Hill's had colic and has had ligament issues. And is he going to be back to his best? To say he'll be, as Alex said, he'll be a brave man to bet against him. But I don't know. As much as I'd like him to win, I don't know. I think Lossie might just do it. But if and then you got the other question: if she doesn't win in Constitution, does she still go on the Champion Hurdle route, or does she go back to maybe going to the Mares? That's another question you might have to look into. But yeah, it's still going to be a cracking race. To say Birkett Road has been good this season and lump sum, but these two should be too good for them too. But yeah, what a race is going to be.
It'll
hopefully, yeah.
If they face off, it'll undoubtedly have an effect on markets for March, won't it?
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, very similar to the lads. I'm just glad that I'm going to be there, and I just hope that he is back to anywhere near his best. You want to see a competitive race. You don't want to see him pulled up, do you? After jumping 5-6 hurdles, coming to the business end. Not a bet. Can't wait for it. Hopefully they both turn up. Your head will tell you Lossiemouth should win this based on the time he's had off and all his issues. But yeah, I can't wait for it. Hopefully it's an absolute belter.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, Jack. Similar.
Yeah, similar. Again, not. I think it'd be stupid to start lumping any money on this. I won't be touching any of my money on it. I'll just sit back, watch it, and just hope that Constitution Hill's back if we want him to be back. But I'd just be concerned that we've seen him twice on the racetrack, and there's been two different issues with him. I don't know. I'm just not going to be convinced. I just don't think he's going to be the horse he once was. And listen, I hope I'm wrong, but there's been too many different things going on and things happening that you get your mind sick and you're like, is it all that it's made out to be? So listen, I hope he's back. I don't think he will be, but it's very entertaining race to watch. One you can just have no money back, sit down with a pint and watch it and just see what happens. So it's one of the most exciting. It probably is the most exciting race of the day because everyone's going to tune in to see how Constitution Hill run. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited, but no betting proposition.
No, it's definitely going to be that, isn't it? You know, everyone's eyes are going to be on it, just to see what's going on. Interesting. Was it Johnny who put in our group here, and Hendo had come out the other day, hadn't he? And he seemed quite bullish with his update. Did he come out?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah,
hitting well and raring to go, which is slightly unusual.
Yeah, it's an exciting.
He did also say, "Wait till you see this lad over a fence," when he was referring to Jericho the Wetton.
When he says, to be honest.
Ian is fuming right now. I can tell. His eyes.
The funny thing is, Ian, I think he literally meant a fence as well because he only jumped one.
Oh God!
You come up with the
Lovely, thanks, chaps. So yeah, that's Boxing Day afternoon. Everyone glued to the TV for that one. Okay, Ian. It was the long distance novice chase at Leopardstown, wasn't it?
Yeah, just. I think that's the only class one on the day. Yeah.
Yes, 2:20. 4 declared. Better days ahead. Buddy One, Croke Park, and Stellar Story. Anybody got anything particularly stronger? They feel they want to kick us off here? Hold your hand up if you want to go first.
I haven't got anything strong, but I will just say, I really do like Martin Pipeform, and the way Better Days Ahead won it really caught my eye. He's a big horse as well. I think it's coming into this season. I thought if he can jump a fence, this will also be a really, really good horse. And he put Slade Steel round and puts the Slade Steel down easily, didn't he? And won him by 4 or 5 lengths. Slade Steel's come second since. I don't know what they're planning with that horse. Maybe they're trying to get the novice handicap. I'm not too sure what they're doing with him, but I'm just willing to take the 2 Jingstown ones on, and Bloody One, I'm willing to take them on. So I've had a bet on Better Days Ahead. It's not my strongest bet of the day, I'm not going to lie, but I think this horse will be really nice. I really do. He really impressed me at Navan.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jack. Ian?
I'm going to go against Jack. I like Croke Park, and purely because of the distance. So he kept on well. I think he won at Ferryhouse in November, and he was. I think it might have been a regular race in the Drimmer. I think when he beat Hartwood and Firefox, and she could be anything. But yeah, I think that'll be the key factor for me. The case that he's won. Where was it? I was at Ferryhouse. He won over 3 1/2 furlongs. Will have the ground he likes. He likes good to soft or good to yielding, whatever they call it. Yeah. But yeah, so that would be the main factor for me. The case that Croke Park has gone the distance. I know Stellar Story has as well, but he's raced there. I think he literally won by a whisker. I think it was the 3 Gigginstown horses, and he just about won. I think Croke Park might just be that bit more classier than some of these. So I do like Better Days Ahead, but I wonder if that middle distance might be his bag, so to speak. But I'll go with Croke Park.
Croke Park for Ian. Alex, anything?
I'm with Jack on this. I really fancy Better Days Ahead. I mean, he obviously produced a decent level of form over hurdles, but he looks miles better over fences to me. Obviously beating Slade Steel first time out over fences, although he's not particularly done well next time again. But it's not a confident selection from me, but I think there are worse 13 to 8 pokes. So that'll be my selection.
Better Days Ahead for Alex as well. Lovely. Liam can wrap this one up for us.
Yeah, I just don't really know what to make of it all, to be honest. I agree with everything and kind of echo everything that Alex just said about Better Days Ahead and his run first time up. Croke Park won a really slowly run race that if you ran it again and they went at proper speed, I don't think he would be the eventual winner. Stellar Story, they may as well have done it in Michael O'Leary's back garden. It was 3 Cheesetown horses and Buddy One outsider. This might be the time that I go make a cup of tea and settle back in for other racing. But yeah, a bit harsh perhaps, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Tell us how you really feel.
Excellent. Thank you, chaps. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's absolute mountains of racing on Boxing Day. So I'm sure you'll have had a little look through. So, Jack, is there anything else Boxing Day that you want to particularly talk about? You're particularly excited about? A bet that you've had? Anything
yes.
on?
Sorry, just give me 2 seconds. Let me just get up. Sorry, I thought. I've got 2 at entry. Just a quick question: do we do naps and next best at the end or anything, or shall I just give them now?
You can do. I'll probably do it at the end if
Well, I've got one for now, and I've got one I'll mention later on. The one I've got now in the Forming Novices Hurdle at Aintree, Celtic Dino. I'm really starting to become a fan of this Walter Plant's horses. He seems to be finding very nice horses. Steel Alley, you mentioned before, obviously he blew out at Ascot, but I was on him at Adolf. He won really well. And I really fancy Celtic Dino. I think at the price 7-1, 6-1, around that price. I think it's a massive overreaction. Look, Country Miles come out and absolutely bolted in at Cheltenham a few weeks ago. I just don't know if that's going to become too soon for him or what. He done it easy enough, so he may be fit and ready. But I'm not willing to chance him at 5-1, 6-1, what price he is now. Rollers travelled 1 Country Mile at Haydock, but I think, and it's a very obscure opinion, but I think a Country Mile would have won if he would have jumped the last. I think Rollers travelled at his day. I've spoken to a few people who think he's going to improve again for the run. Listen, he could come out and do that. He is only 5, but I just feel like with that Haydock run, that Haydock form, just he was worked hard by John Joe that day to go up and win. Country Mile was closing on him, and Country Mile, how Harry Skelton stayed on his feet, I'll never know. But I think if I was to pick between them two, running against each other again, it'd probably be Country Mile, but I'm not willing to take a chance on Country Mile because he only ran 2-3 weeks ago at Cheltenham. And Potter's Charm, the favourite, another horse, 2 for 2 at Cheltenham. I just don't really like the way he jumps. He sort of skips through them and clips them. But it's good for a horse to clip the top of the hurdles, but he just runs through them and every now and then. It's not so severe, but the back end of Aintree, the hurdles come up quick, and Celtic Dino's going to go at a quick pace up front. Alvin Wedge is going to be on him. He's going to go a quick pace, and I'm just maybe thinking Potter Charm will get all his own way, and he may struggle coming into the state. It's a long running at Aintree, and at 9-4 I can't touch him, but I think this Celtic Dino's a very, very he's a strong bet for me. He won his open hurdles debut at Ascot. I think it was the end of November, was it? Maybe the start of November. I'm sure it's the end of November, the Ascot meeting. He won weighed out by 4 lengths, weighed out to come out and absolutely bolted up at Lingfield 2 weeks ago. Julius come third. Listen, I put a tweet out about the ride on Julius, and I know Ian mentioned Nico de Boinville before. I think if you watch that race, you'll see the best horse got beat. Julius should have won at Cheltenham. And in my eyes, that's 2 winners that he's beat there, because Julius should have won and weighed out absolutely bolted up at Lingfield, albeit it wasn't a stage race. It was a poor race. He's just done it very comfortably. I think that's the best form to go on so far. Obviously, these are all Cheltenham winners, but Aintree's a very flat track, similar to Ascot, and I know Ascot's got a hill up the back straight, but I'm really, I don't know what it is, lad. I'm really keen on the Celtic Dino, but I'm just looking at the prices here, and I'm like, he's got to be a 7-1 for some reason. I'm trying to find out why he's 7-1, and I can't find the reason why. I just think it's a general bookish mistake. I really do. I just think he should be half the price. So on Boxing Day, Forming Novices Hurdle, Celtic Dino at Aintree. I think it's the 3rd race. He's the one that's got me eyeing, and I'll give you the other one later.
Lovely. Strong case made. So it's 105 race, Aintree, Celtic Dino. Strong case made by Jack. Lovely. Liam, anything particularly excited about for Boxing Day?
Yeah, I'm going to expand and add to exactly what Jack's just said, and also give you another one to watch in that race. So yeah, Celtic Dino, he was really impressive on debut, winning by 14 lengths. The 2nd, 3rd and 4th have all won since, but they've actually managed to win 5 races between them, because the 2nd and 3rd have won multiple times. Jack mentioned the price. I'm not sure if some people are a little bit on the fence, thinking that he is going to be still tied at the Betfair Hurdle, which was exactly what Sam Thomas had said. I've had it from a reliable source, Joe, obviously a fan and a friend of the show, Ginger Joe, that more than likely won't be the case. Obviously,
he's no friend.
They've also got lump sum that perhaps they could take in that direction. So I think he'll be off essentially when he comes in this. So once people get wind of that, I imagine his price will shorten further, because I agree with Jack. He's really good value. The other one that I think just people should keep an eye on in this race, and I hope that he runs on strongly, but he's nowhere near the frame, is Country Mile. He's still available around about 12s. I think that's a little bit on the short side. He was a bit bigger when Unibet first put him in the market, and I might call me a madman. I know we're in December, but for the County Hurdle, the last 9 renewals, 8 of them have been won by 2 men, Willie Mullins or Dan Skelton. They've won 4 each. 4 of the last 5 were novices. 9 of the last 12 were age 5 or 6. 7 of the last 12 had course form at Cheltenham. He's obviously got that in the bag now. 11 of the last 12 winners were rated between 134 and 141. He's off 138, bang in the middle. He's obviously smashed wingmen who loads of people wanted on their radar. So watch him in the Form B. I'm hoping that, given that Harry Skelton's over at Kempton and Keeling Woods takes the ride, he's there to get his 4th run under his belt and only needing 1 more to qualify. But Celtic Dino on with Jack, I think he's a real decent bet, especially at the 13 to 2, 7 to 1, if that price is still around this evening.
I think the quick I think the quick turnaround for Country Mile as well indicates what Liam just said. I think they're trying to get the runs in. They'll try and get him a run in February sometime, and then you can give him 6 or 7 weeks there to focus on the County Hurdle. I think that's why they've got him out straight away after Cheltenham 2 weeks ago, just to get that other run in. And you've only got to get one more run in until Cheltenham. So yeah, I completely agree with what Liam's saying there.
The other one, that I had was also over at Aintree in the 140, and he's got some decent form. It's been franked over the last couple of weeks. That's Florida Dreams. He has shortened up into favouritism. However, he's still a nice enough price to back. He finished in front of Cracking Rhapsody and Fiercely Proud. Fiercely Proud obviously won the big handicap on the back end of the card at Ascot on the weekend, and Cracking Rhapsody followed up somewhere, possibly in Scotland, a couple of weekends ago, and he went and won. Cracking Rhapsody, for example, is off around about 133 now. Florida Dreams is coming in here, still in the mid 120s. They obviously didn't think that he needs to step up in trip. When he won on reappearance, he needed every yard of it. So they did try him over 3 miles last season. I think this intermediate trip would be perfect. And yeah, I think he's still on a very handy mark. And as I say, that form's been franked the last couple of weekends, which is nice. So yeah, I think that he potentially could go in as well on Boxing Day.
Lovely, thank you, Liam. A couple of extra gems there, Ian, Alex. Either of you got anything you want to pop up and
go on, Ian.
Let everyone know about?
Well, it wouldn't be a podcast without me talking about Nicky Henderson. So there is a mare, and it's obviously an unpronounceable name, just like you like, OJ. There's one, it could be a talking horse. It's called Kaisenheim. Probably not a backable price. It's 11 to 10 on. 4-year-old mare. Could be one to look at. And there is one at Aintree in the bumper. I think it's Dalston. I think it's called Dalston something. Hang on, totally unprepared.
Dalston
It
lad.
was quite impressive. I think it's the Skeltons. He was really impressive last time out, won by 9 lengths. So my computer's really slow. Yes, it's the Skelton bumper horse in the last at Aintree. Here we go, Dalston lad. I think it's about 6 to 4 at the minute, but they're possibly the 2 I might have a play on the day.
Lovely, thank you, Ian. So a multitude of festive racing and goes in the bumper. Top man. Con man. Go on, Alex.
I quite fancy one of Alan King's in the first race at Kempton, S Perfecto. He was obviously a novice over fences last year, chased home Ginny's Destiny a couple of times at Cheltenham. He was actually 3rd in this race itself last year, finished 3rd behind Blow Your Wad and Outlaw Peter, and both of those are up nearly a stone since then. Horse in 4th is up nearly a stone as well. General Madrano was 5th. We mentioned him earlier. He actually obviously won at Newbury on the 30th. I was there when he won. He won really well. He actually won last time out. Won of course and distance as well at Kempton. Up £5 for that. He's only £3 higher than last year. He's a smashing each way price, 7 to 1 as well. So that'll be my fancy, little each way fancy for Boxing Day to get us all started off the cracker.
What was that again, Alex? Sorry.
S Perfecto.
Lovely. Thank you, Alex. Like a nice, confident Alex pick.
There's your little
One of my own
Yankee.
favourite.
Sorry?
There's your little Yankee for Boxing Day.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. There we go. Right. Okay. So we'll move on to whatever day the 27th is now. Friday, is it?
Friday.
Friday.
You lose track of time. Days during Christmas, don't you? You don't know what day it was.
Totally. Yeah. The fact that my brain's been frazzled the last couple of days doesn't help either. Okay, I think we're kicking off at Leopardstown with the Paddy Power Chase, is it? A 110, Ian?
Yeah.
Is that what we said? The race Gaelic Warriors in?
That's it.
So 2 mile, 1 furlong, Paddy Rewards Club Chase, grade 1. We've got Gaelic Warrior, Marine National. We've already mentioned Ginger Joe twice, haven't we? You'll be getting excited with that. Go on, Alex. You can kick us off here.
Yeah, Marina. No, he's not really. Gaelic Warrior wins. Move on. Keep it simple.
Lovely. That's what I like to hear. Ian.
Same for me. Excuse me. He normally runs really well fresh. He wins first time out. My worry normally would be in these Grade 1 races is that Patrick's on board. But for what I remember, he won on Gaelic Warrior last time out at Limerick. I think it was December last year. And then obviously you look at some of the horses that Gaelic Warrior beating the Arkle are in this race, found 50. I think Gentleman to Me was in the race as well. But Marine National, is he back to his best? And you got Captain Guinness has not done that well since he won the Champion Chase at the festival. I think he'll be too good for these, but to say my worry normally would be Patrick, but I think Gaelic would be too good for these.
I think my sorry, and I missed the end of yours there because I think it was probably my Wi-Fi, so I do apologise.
That's okay.
Don't worry. He just said I love Nicky Henderson, and then he finished.
Just randomly throw it there. Okay, Jack.
One board views would. I'll just completely agree with what the lads think. I think Gaelic Warrior wins. I think for the 50, I think he needs to step up and trip. I don't think he's a 2 miler all as much anymore. The way he won Pinkerton over the 2 mile 3 was it? Yeah, 2 mile 3.5 furlongs. I think he needs to step up. I think he'll go to Ryanair. We'll find he's a better horse over 2.5. I think Gaelic Warrior for me, OJ, plain and simple. I think he'll have 3 bolts in here. Obviously, the likes of Marine National are all there. Champion Chase winner, Captain Guinness. Blue Lord's back after a run in the Hilly Way after a long absence. It's Gaelic Warrior. And if you get 3 places, each way and Dino Blue, I think they'll be the top 2, first and second.
Because I thought Dino Blue, I thought she ran a good race behind in Ergomead the other week. I thought she ran a good race.
She's one for the mayor's chase, isn't she, to keep
okay, Liam.
I am going to bore everyone to death, unlike Jack, because I think Gaelic Warrior is way too short. I'd come back him at that price. We've not seen him on ground this good before. I think he does prefer with a bit of cut in it. He's now not messing around in kind of novice company. He's stepping up into open company. He's going to have to go a proper grade 1 pace, jumping out to his right consistently. He can have the tendency to boil over like he did pre-race at the DRF. And then you look back at his Arkle win, and in my opinion, in the main, he's beating handicappers and not having to give them any weight. He's now having to come in here against proper graded open company horses. And I just think he's way too short. Depending on how he is and what sort of price he is, I'd go as far as to say I could well place lay him. For how many places, I don't know. But I could well place lay him on the day when I'm watching. I've had a stab at Blue Lord at 50s. Obviously, he's had a mammoth 378 days off the track. He ran a reasonable race when he came back, obviously, in the Hilly Way. His form here at Leopardstown is decent. He was the winner of this a couple of years ago and beat Captain Guinness, obviously the current Champion Chase winner, by 11 lengths. When there's good or yielding in the going description, he's got form figures of first, third, first, second, third. It's just getting drier and drier, although he is obviously ground versatile. But yeah, I think if he can come on and improve for that run, he's shown his quality previously. And the other one, if it gets like a road, who will love it in here from the front, would be Danny Mullins. Again, a jockey who's brilliant going from the front on board, gentleman to me. But yeah, I don't really play at those prices anyhow, and I always try and find a way to get the top of the market beast. That's just how I would look at a race. But yeah, for me, I could be winning on multiple fronts if I can place Layham and get something at a price in the frame or winning.
Lovely. Big price, Blue Lord, with Alex's favourite jockey booked for that as well.
I hate him so much.
Hang on. We've got calling coming. Yeah. Okay, speak to you later, mate. Yeah, that was Ginger Joe. He says you're all a bunch of pricks. National Right, enough of that nonsense. Thank you, chaps. Lovely. So we'll go to the future champions Novice Hurdle at 1:45. Again at Leopardstown. Who hasn't kicked us off for a while? Alex, go on. You can. If you want to, Alex, you may.
Yeah,
I
haven't really got another strong fancy this one either, but I'd probably take a chance on that Carniquet. I thought it was pretty impressive on debut at Tremor, although admittedly they only actually jumped about 2 or 3 hurdles. The race he won was actually previously won by Gaelic Warrior and Lorena as well, so usually Willie's a sort of a creature of habit, isn't he? He sends some of his good horses to the same races every year. As I say, I'm not particularly a fan of either of the ones ahead of him. I think Romeo Coolio probably needs a little bit further, probably needs 2.5 miles in time. And I mean, Blue Devassi looked pretty good the first 2 starts, but happy to take him on. So yeah, Carniquet for me, just not a strong selection again, just a few quid each way.
Lovely. Thank you, Al. Liam?
Yeah, I think we're still waiting for something to blow us away in the Novice Hurdle division a little bit, aren't we? I would side with one in here, and I did, only because Unibet had an absolute rick earlier. They still had Salvatore Mundi taking up 33% of the market, so everything was proper long in terms of its odds available. But I've sided with Carafon, so he's thrown into a grade 2 on this day last year. He finished 5th in that race, won by Carlo Conti, I think. He was then put away and then reappeared this season. In a bizarre race from a market perspective, he was odds on. When Patrick said he would have been on the mare or the filly if he could make the weight. And then after said no, it was an absolute steering job when Carafon went off at 7-4 and absolutely bolted him. Willie said in the stable tour earlier this year, he'll be one of our best ones. Obviously, I'd take some of that with a pinch of salt, but he didn't really give any others a mention like that. So, yeah, I will side with him. The only other one that was of interest was Ballygunner Castle. He was properly interfered with by a loose horse on his first start. He almost came to a standstill either before or after jumping the last. And he still managed to rally and get home, which I thought was quite impressive. So maybe one for more of the stay-in trips. But yeah, Carafon for me, I've took a bit of a swing, hoping that he's a potential supreme candidate.
Lovely. Carafon for Liam. He's really, really trying to annoy Alex by keep picking Darryl Jacobs right here. But there we go. We'll let you off. Carry on.
You're not allowed back on anymore.
It's not my fault. It's Munir and somebody else. I'll forget the other ones.
Suede.
They need a new jockey.
Okay, Jack. Give us your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, well, I was actually going to say Carafon's actually looked really impressive, but I couldn't touch him with Darryl Jacob on board. So that's what I was going to say. So you just touched on that. Carniquet, he's going to get them out of Patrick Mullins. It'd be interesting to see how he won down Mexico Lane. He absolutely bolted it. I think he won by 10 lengths, 11 lengths. Down Mexico Way, is running on Boxing Day at Dan Royal. He's currently even money favourite. I'll be keeping an eye on him because if he wins, it'd be interesting to see if Carniquet sees any sort of money. But to be honest with you, OJ, not a real opinion. If I was to give you the bet right now, I'd probably say I'd have a bet on Karake. Blue Devassis had done a foot wrong. I think Hurdles was made him a completely different machine. He's done a foot wrong. He's won by 25 lengths and 5 lengths in his 2 starts so far over Hurdles. The other Jig and Star Norse. But I'm just gonna watch down Mexico way on Boxing Day, and if he wins, well, then I'll probably have a bet on Karake. But overall, not a betting race so far for me. And like Liam said, I think we're still waiting for this Novice to come and blow us away. I think we'll get it on Boxing Day because I've just realised I forgot to mention. But Cobbock the Boards is he is entered at Leopardstown at 12 o'clock. I think that would be a Ballymore winner. Honestly, only just reminded me now because I've seen Novice Hurdle. He's running on Boxing Day. But as a betting wise for this, OJ, not on for me, so I'm afraid.
No worries at all, bud. No worries at all. Johnny was a big Cobbock the Boards fan, wasn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, we both put him up as one to follow for the season. Me and Johnny did.
Yeah, I backed him for the Ballymore.
Alex, I must apologise. Of course you did. I got very excited about the fact that you both did at the time.
Yeah, he's really excited.
Right. Right, Ian.
Right. Not very original, but I'm willing to forgive Romeo Coolio's. I know he's currently about 4-1. He got upset at Ferry House. I think he was the odds-on shot beaten by the Willie Mullins lower string. I think it was Tunes of Eta. It was jumping or drifting to his right, I think, which cost him the race. So as I say, I'm willing to forgive him, and I hope he's ridden a bit more prominent, like it was at his maiden hurdle at Down Royal when he won. So I think he needs to be up in the van and probably dictate the race a bit more. So I'm willing to forgive. I'll say it again. Willing to forgive the run. Romeo Coolio at 4-1 for me. OJ.
Okay, thank you, Ian. Thank you, chaps. Welsh National. Welsh National is the third race we're looking at on the 27th. I won't sing for you. I won't sing the national. We'll let you off that little treat. So 250 Chepstow on the 27th. There's a few on the Racing Post site who've got jockeys booked now. Monbeg Genius, Gallia Delito, both jocked up. So who wants to kick us off here? Liam, do you want to kick off here?
Yeah, I can do. You've mentioned one there, OJ. I've been a big fan of hers for a good while now, Gallia Delito. This has been her target. It was set out in the early season stable tours that this is where she'd be coming. She wants a mammoth trip on soft ground and wants a jumping test. I called Chepstow Racecourse almost every day in the last week, asking them what the going was, and they still wouldn't tell me. But now it did officially come out that it was soft yesterday. So hopefully it keeps raining here and stays dry for Banbridge down south. But yeah, she ran a really good race in the National. She was pretty prominent throughout. She ended up finishing 8th in that. But look, she was up against Grade 1 horses who had the advantage of the weight compression and obviously some still well handicapped ones. So that was a decent run from her. Her back form's nice in terms of the RSA. Brown Advisory finished 5.5 lengths behind the likes of Iron Maximus and others. Obviously, that was won in the end by the Real Whacker. So yeah, I think she's got a decent chance. The price is probably contracted a bit too much at the moment, so that's obviously no use to anybody. So the other one that was on my radar was Your Own Story, a horse for Lucinda Russell, obviously coming down from Scotland to try and pinch the big Welsh race of the year. But he will love this trip. There's not a trip long enough for him. He should have won a big race over the summer period over in Ireland, but Patrick was just went a little bit too soon, I think, and in hindsight he would have held on to him a bit longer and he got nabbed on the line. You look at his form, strings of seconds, always runs a cracking race, still off a nice mark, great jumper, and yeah, he's coming off the back of a good run in that Scottish Borders handicap chase that Bretney won the other week. That was probably a little bit too much for him over the 4-mile trip. But yeah, I think he'll love this. And if somebody wants something at a price, I won't put anyone off backing him. I think he's available around about 20s each way.
He's one of Johnny's horses to follow, isn't he? Your Own Story.
Is he?
I think so, yeah. At the beginning of the season we've done.
I think so, Ian. Yeah, I was thinking that just as when you were talking. And yeah, absolutely lovely. So a couple there for Liam. We've got Gallia Delito and your own story. Ian, right on cue. Give us your thoughts, mate.
Well, I've got a couple as well. I'll go with a 16-1 shot first, which is Iron Bridge, who was second in this race last year. He had a mark of 142, now down to 136, carrying 11 stone. They have no issues with the trip. I think I'm just bringing up the details now. Ran in the Air Scottish National and come 8th. But what's this one at Haydock? Over 3 miles, 4 was beaten by Yeah Man. So that shouldn't be an issue. The ground is the soft, which he'll prefer. The other one I like is a 15-1 shot. It's called No Hubs, No Hoobs. Brendan Powell jocked up, got a weight of 10 stone 2, which I think Liam likes trends. I think some of the lower weighted horses sometimes do quite well in the Welsh National. It's got a mark of 124. It's won plenty of races at the distance in Class 3. I think he's won at Wincanton and Exeter recently. You may want the ground to be a bit softer, but I just thought the price is 50-1. I thought was quite big. So Iron Bridge each way 16-1. No Hubs, No Hoops 50-1 for me, OJ.
Am I being
okay?
Have I just been incredibly rude and talked over anyone or anything?
No,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. You're upset, Ian.
I'm all right, upsetting Ian. Okay, so I'm guessing Ian was still rambling on about the Welsh National.
I'm finished. I'm finished.
Joking, Ian. Sorry. I lost half of you. There you finished. Okay. So, No Hubs, No Hoobs, I think was the last that I heard.
Yeah, an Iron Bridge.
From yourself. An Iron Bridge. Good man. Good man. Jack?
Yeah, funnily enough, the 2 out fancy have already been mentioned. I'll give the quick mention to the first one. It's actually, I don't know how many times this happens, but the 50-1 shot's been agreed with 2 people on a podcast, which is crazy. I think No Hubs, No Hoobs. I won't repeat what Ian just said too much, but I think he's a massive price. I think he's well far overpriced. He'll stay the tip. He's going to carry 10 stone 2. The previous winners, once I have got it here, the previous winners have carried 10 stone 1, 10 stone, 10 stone 1, 10 stone 4, and then you go to Elegant Escape, who carried 10, 11. Go back down to 10.8, 10 stone, 10.4. No Hubs, No Hoops. Going to carry 10 stone 2. Already jocked up. This has clearly been the plan. Perfect prep run at Wincanton. He's beat by Remastered. But he's running Exeter. He won a horse that I mentioned on our show a while ago, over 3 miles 6, Cornwell Legends. Really, one of my horses to follow for this season. I think he's got a big handicap in him somewhere down the line. But he was trying that day, and No Hubs, No Hoops made easy work of him. And won very comfortably. He's going to come here off 10 stone 2, 50-1. I think he's far too overpriced. Second one is Gallia Delito. Listen, I will just say, and Liam won't like to hear this, but I've been on Gallia Delito for the Kauto Star, then I was on her for the RSA, then I was on her for the Mildmay, then I was on her for the Grand National, and she just can't get ahead in front for me. I keep fancying her, and she just can't get over the line for me, but I know she's a long distance traveller. She'll love soft ground. I think this Welsh Grand National could be tailor-made for her, and I think come April she could stand a good chance in the Ancient Grand National as well. Everything goes all right here.
Jack, do us a favour and cash out then so she can win, would you?
Brilliant. That's great. Thank you, Jack. So, yeah, another for No Hubs, No Hoops and Gallia Delito. Lovely. Alex?
I've only got one in this. I quite fancy Jubilee Express of Sam Thomas's. I think ideally they'd have liked to get a prep run into him, but they've not quite managed it this time. Sam's obviously previously won this race before with I Will Do It. I mean, you know this horse is going to stay. His last 2 races have been over 3 mile 4 and 3 mile 5. He's bottom of the weights, well, one of the bottom of the weights, carrying 10 stone 4. I imagine Dylan Johnson will be on as well. He just looks progressive to me, whereas a lot of these, or a few of these, are sort of on the way down. He's lightly raced. It'd be his 5th start over fences, still on the up. And I think there's a lot to like. And yeah, another nice each way price.
Lovely. Thank you, Alex. So that's the Welsh National wrapped up. Don't think we'd picked out any more races in particular, specifically, had you, Ian? Was it those three and then anything else again on Friday?
I've got one just very quickly. In the Paddy Power Chase 3-card brag. I know I'm going to sound stupid for backing him, but I'm going to give him one more chance back over here, back over fences. I think he's well. He just squeezed in here off 148 to 0 to 150. He has his fences wasn't the making of him, of course. He went back over hurdles, but the horses he finished behind that didn't look that good at the time. He finished behind Corbett's Cross, obviously won the National and Chase. Monty Star, who was second in the RSA. Splan's Tower, who a lot of us think got a very good chance in the King George, and was second in the what was the horse? What was the race he was second in now? Margin blank.
Brown Advisory.
John Durkin.
John Durkin, yeah. I mean, I just completely went blank there. He was second in the John Durkin. So when you look back at his form, he's only beat like 5 lengths, 7 lengths. He was only beat by Corbett's Cross at 3/4 of a length. His form over fences isn't that bad. Of course, he's not a Grade 1 horse. Everyone knows that. But he's squeezed into a handicap here. He's going to carry 10 stone, 11 stone 10. Carl Miller's going to take 5 off him. I think he's got a banging chance here. Listen, he's obviously a frustrating horse, and not the horse everyone thought he was going to be, but he's definitely better than the handicapper, I think. So I think 10 to 1 for him right now. I think that's overpriced.
I'm happy to take Jack on with a couple if you'd like them, OJ, in that race, the big handicap. So the first one is adamantly chosen. So this was Townend's choice of race in this last year. He was off a mark of 145 then. He then went on to run some decent races, the back end or middle portion, I suppose, of last season. 7th to 25, 1st to 5, 7th to 14. That was off marks of 148, 147, and again off 148. He's effectively coming near off 141, so £6 below his last winning mark when you take the claim into account. And some of his back form reads really well on kind of good to yielding ground. The DRF, he finished in front of, he finished second to Mighty Potter. He was beaten 8 lengths, but he finished in front of Galliard de Menil, Iron Maximus, Kill Crew, James de Burleigh. So obviously some nice horses. And I think he's just too big a price at 33s. And the other one I've played each way in that is Aim Desji. I realise that they're 2 Willie Mullins horses who has a shocking record in handicap chases. So maybe I'm just barking completely at the wrong tree, but he's available at 50s. And again, I think that he's on a decent mark. He's got some form in behind, like Corbett's Cross. He's got form that ties in with Nick Rocket and 3-card brag. And yet is now getting almost a stone in weight from them once you take into account, again, the jockey claim. I think this will be ideal as a trip. Needs to jump better than he did the last day, but I think he was just struggling to get out the ground. But yeah, 6 places pretty much everywhere. So I've had 2 swings at those at 33s and 50s.
Lovely. Thank you both, gents. That's excellent stuff. I must apologise if I am seeming rude. My Wi-Fi is awful tonight, so I keep losing bits of audio here. So yeah, I'm trying not to be rude. But Ian, you got anything else for us on the 27th?
We're not a selection as such, but potentially we could have another big clash in the Wayward Lad at Kempton in the 155. Because at the minute, Ballyburn and Sir Gino are in the betting. Ballyburn's even money, and Sir Gino is 5 to 4. So it depends if Ballyburn's declared, potentially Paul Townend could stay to go on to Ballyburn. It's whether Sir Gino will go chasing that quick. But yeah, that's the only one I've noticed, OJ, to be honest. I haven't got any other selections for the 27th. But yeah, that could be another big clash if it happens, but we'll know on the 26th.
I think Paul Townend is a name. He hasn't been jocked up in any horses in Ireland on the 27th as well. So maybe that's just a little clue for us that Ballyburn is going to go and he's going to stay at Kempton.
Could be, Jack, especially with Patrick being chopped up on Gaelic Warrior.
On Gaelic Warrior, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Maybe that is literally just telling us that he is going to go there. I hope so.
Nice.
Yes.
Alex?
Not really one for a selection, but one I'm keeping an eye on is in my tracker. A horse called Dr. Glide. He's had 2 starts over fences so far and just basically put out the back. And he was started against Ballyburn and then Madgeborough. I think he's one where they're trying to get him a mark. So just one to keep an eye on and put in trackers, I think.
Lovely. Little snippets like that from Alex. Right, gents. Well, I'm afraid time has beat me, so I'm going to have to duck out. I'll leave you in Ian's more than capable hands, more capable than me by far, that's for sure. So, I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you two chaps massively for coming on. It's been great to have you on. Alex, Ian, I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, OJ.
Let's go to it's the 28th, isn't it? Should we start a Newbury? Because it's only the one selection we've got, and it's the Challow Hurdle, the 255. Anybody got any fancies in the Challow Hurdle?
I don't have a fancy as such, Ian. I just really hope that Regent Stroll's the superstar, because I think Paul Nicholls needs one. They're spending an awful lot of money, aren't they? And recruitment hasn't been, it's been as good as Manchester United's, to be perfectly honest, over the last few years. So that's saying something. But yeah, so I hope that Regent Stroll is special. And yeah, again, another absolute graveyard, I suppose, for Cheltenham prospects, isn't it, as well, this race? But you never know. He might be able to win here and then go on and win at Cheltenham. But yeah, I just hope that he is special and we see a decent performance. Alex, you got anything to add?
No, I'm the opposite. I hope he's not very good. I don't like Paul Nicholls. Sorry. The one I quite fancy, I think it'll be probably a 3-miler in time. I quite like the look of Bill Joyce. I thought he ran a pretty nice race of the day at Sandown. Looks like a proper national hunt type. And I think it won't be long till we see him over 3 miles.
And Jack, have you got anything for the race?
Yeah, no, I'll just repeat what the lads have just said. Bill Joyce is a horse to follow for man, and for some reason it didn't back on my Sandown. I don't know why. He looks a very nice prospect. Whether he's good enough to win this, I'm not sure. But I do hope that Regent Stroll's a good horse. He's done an awful lot wrong at Newbury and still won good and clever. Convincingly made a very bad mistake. How he stayed on his feet, I don't know, but he stayed on his feet and to go and win as well. It shows the talent there. Harry Cobham had a lot of praise for him after the race to say there's not very many horses that would do that. And I agree with him. I mean, not that I've sat on a horse but you can tell when horses make mistakes, they can easily put their head away and just say, "Nah, fuck this. I don't want to know." But he ran on strongly and ended up winning convincingly at the end. You never know, the form might be positive because good and clever's the outside and the form being obviously on Boxing Day. So if he sets up a surprise, then maybe the form isn't as bad as people may be thinking out. But yeah, I just hope that Regent Stroll's a decent horse, but no betting proposition for me.
No, it's just a shame. I'm looking at the entries at the minute. There's 12 entries, but you've got like Potter's Charm that's running earlier in the week, and you've got Romeo Coolio. I don't think the Yellow Clay will go here, so that's start 3 or 4 straight away. I should give a shout out to Wendingo again, to our friend Ginger Joe, who's part of the racing club. He's apparently quite excited for Wendigo to run in this race. I think he won last time out, so he could be one to keep an eye on for the future. I don't really have a selection in this race, but I potentially would. I like the guy's selection you said about Bill Joyce and potentially being a 3-mile chaser in the making is the word, isn't it? But yeah, I reckon he'll probably go a favourite on the day. So the next 2 races, both at Leopardstown. We've got the Savills Chase and the Savills Hurdle, but we'll go to the Savills Chase first. Jack, we'll start with you. What do you fancy in the Savills Chase?
Yeah, sorry, I've just been talking then and I was on mute. I actually didn't know there's betting for the Challow Hurdle. I didn't know that. Regent Stroll 2-1's not a bad price, to be fair. The Savills Chase, yes, the rematch, isn't it? Gallopin versus Fatafile.
Yes.
I think 2-1 for Gallopin's far too short, especially when he's only 7-2 or so for the Gold Cup still. I think Fatafile won him convincingly last time out in the John Deacon, but that's never Gallopin's race. He comes alive around February time and March. Fatafile. It's funny enough you say that because when he won at Cheltenham, I thought he was very keen, and I thought he'd be too keen for a Gold Cup, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on here. in open company over 3 miles. Maybe he might be too keen. I thought Corbett's Cross would have been more of the Gold Cup horse for JP, and it seems like Fatafire. Obviously, you're going to go like this route for Fatafire now because he's won after the Gold Cup field in the John Deere, and hasn't he? So you're obviously going to go the Gold Cup route now. But I just think he may be too. He's a very keen horse. I just couldn't touch him at 7-4. Listen, he's a very good horse, but Gallopin's probably one of the best staying chasers we've seen in I don't know how many years. So, like, I think 2-1's it's too big. It's too big to leave alone anyway for me.
Liam, any thoughts on the Savills Chase?
Yeah, I'm similar to Jack. I tell you what, me and Jack are either going to win a few quid or we'll be absolutely broke by the end of Christmas because we're on some of the same stuff. Yeah, Gallopins.
Because we talk to each other about every single day, we convince each other.
Nightmare. But yeah, no, Gallopin, his record round here, 6th obviously over hurdles, and then from there on 1-1, 1-1-1. He was joke good in this last year, absolutely blew them away. I would suggest that his actual prep, is running the John Durkin this year, is better than his prep race last year, and he missed pieces of work in the lead up to that just due to a small issue. I think he still potentially has the quality. He still seems to have the same zip and zest over these fences and the way he travelled for the majority of the John Durkin race. So I have no doubt that he's probably still just as classy as he was at 7 and 8 as he will be at 9. He's already won 9 Grade 1s. I hope he makes it 10 and then he'll surpass the £1.5 million or €1.5 million prize money figure. For me, he's up there with the Kauto and Denmans, and you can throw absolutely any other staying chaser's name into the mix. Gallopin's right up there with them all. Yeah, I'm a massive fan.
And Alex, anything to add?
No, Gallopin as well for me. I think that performance in this race last year was the best I've seen him. I thought that was his peak performance of his career. I think I agree with the other guys as well. I think Fatafire might be more of a 2.5 miler, and then in a few years' time, maybe be a proper 3 miler. But yeah, he just runs with the choke out too much for me. I'd love to see him in a Ryanair this year. That's where I'd love to see Fatafire. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, Gallopin for me, can't ignore that price.
Okay, perfect. I've got a sneaky feeling I think Fatafire might do it. I know he won at 3 mile at the festival, and he needs to obviously to win this really to be a big contender in the Gold Cup. He needs to be beating Jerry Cologne and Gallopin Deschamps at this distance. But yeah, I know 74 is not a real price, but I think he might do it. Today might be his day. I know Gallopin was, as you guys said, was outstanding this time last year in the same race, but we'll see. Right, we'll come to the last race of our video, and it is the Savills Hurdle. Again, it's probably going to be hard to find out who's running in this race because I think a lot of the entries, the horses seem to be running elsewhere. But Alex, do you want to kick us off with the Savills Hurdle?
Yeah, I mean, I got to take the favourite out because I absolutely hate Home by the Lee. Every time I back him, he's last, and whenever I don't back him, he wins. So yeah, cannot get that horse right at all. So I'll leave him alone. If you guys back him, he'll probably win. Bob, I don't think he's a 3 miler either. I think he's best over 2.5 coming off a really strong pace. I don't think he's ever won over 3 miles thinking about it, actually, Bob Ollinger. So I'd be happy to ignore him. I'd probably take a chance on Hewick. I mean, they're obviously going to skip the King George. They're going to come here for this. I think it probably looks like a very tempting pot, a very weak field. I mean, Stereo Belonge's 4th favourite. I think that probably says it all about what this field is like. So, Hewick for me. He's 8-1 still in some places. So, I mean, that's still like a half decent each way price. Not another one where it's not a particularly confident selection, but I think they're coming here to pick up some prize money in a very weak Grade 1.
Liam, any thoughts?
Yeah, I initially looked at it and just the class that you've shown previously, I thought Sir Gerhard was a big price, but I just don't think you can part with any money on him these days. He might have needed to run the last day and now we're back up in trip. But he just seems tripless and almost obstacle-less as well. I don't know whether it should be hurdling, fencing or what. Interesting to see Sandor Clegane back over hurdles. I think I wish they'd done it a little bit sooner, but also the form of that of the Albert Bartlett hasn't worked out fantastically well, so he doesn't scream winner to me. The one that I potentially did look at, I imagine they'll try and pick up some prize money at some point with Noble Yates along the way. Obviously, they won the Cleve last year. As Alex has just alluded to, this is probably just an equal quality field that he's going to encounter if he decides to go the Cleve or comes here, and this is worth almost double the prize money than the Cleve. So if any man can get one ready for a day without having a run and coming in fresh, it probably would be a man of Emmett Mullins' caliber. So perhaps he can get him ready for this, and he'll try and go for the near 90 grand prize money that's available. Obviously, he's got form on the ground. He'll like it. Good to soft. He's won a national on the same going. So yeah, if I had to decide one, I'm not sure if I will as of yet. I'll see what price he is come the day. But yeah, maybe Noble Yates.
And Jack, do you want to?
Yeah.
Finish off.
Yeah, I was really keen on Home by the League. I think what you're doing wrong, Alex. I think you're backing him when there's been raining because he seems to win on yielding to good ground, good to soft. But when it's heavy or soft or just soft in the description, he never ever seems to win. It's yielding right now, so he's going to get his conditions. He's won this race before. Obviously, he was out the back of the telly last year, but that was on heavy ground and enjoyed it all. He was a really strong bet for me, but then Hewitt is going to get his conditions in the King George, and he decided to swerve that and come here, which is just a bit like worrying me a bit because he's very slick hurdler. It just worry me a bit. They're swerving the King George for a reason, and I think they might fancy the chances here. So it's a bit of a worry with Hewitt coming over. I think 8-1's far too big on him, but I was really keen on him Home by the Lead the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was just looking at Hewitt because I think the last time he ran over hurdles is in France.
Oh, was that the French?
In May, yeah. And so he's been chasing ever since, or in between. But yeah, I think he was second. Yeah. That was in May.
He's ran in that a few times, that race, hasn't he? He seems to win at the end of the season, in April or May, innit?
Does anybody know how much he cost?
What, the race?
250.
No.
They never mention it ever, do they?
For me, it's going to sound boring. I think this is process elimination. I think Home by the League literally could be one of the only ones that runs over 3 miles over hurdles and wins. See, as Alex said, Bob Ollinger, I don't think he stays 3 miles. The steering for Longe is 10 now. I know he's been second.
I'm still a
these races, and Noble Yates seems to run in this race as a prep, doesn't he? And then goes chasing. From what I see, he went to Cheltenham and then ran in the national after that. Yeah. So I think
he'll be the same if Intense Raffle Company as well. I think they'll have another. Yeah. I think they'll have the Inchigan National in mind.
And you got like Hidden Valley Lake ran recently, I think. And Sandhook again was one that Liam said that I thought it was quite interesting. Could be an each way play at 20-1, but. Yeah, I'll go with Home by the League as well for you guys. Any other selections for the 28th before we wrap up?
I've got 5 to watch if you really want me to go through them.
We'll see if Jack's got them. Alex or Jack, have you got anything for the 28th?
No, I'm just looking here. I actually don't think I do. I've got No, I've just got me nap. That's run off Boxing Day, but that's it. Not on the 28th. It's hard right now, isn't it? Because you don't know what's coming with.
No, that's it.
So you don't want to give something and they might not even go. So,
Alex, anything for the 28th?
I think Go to War, who moved from Fergal to Henderson, is a very well handicapped horse. Looks like he's entered on the Saturday at Newbury. I'd be very interested in him. That's probably my main one. Other than that, Hamzian, the Tony Martin horse, who absolutely shit home at Cheltenham in November. He's got an entry in a Pertemps qualifier at Leopardstown on the 28th. I think if he's going to want to actually run in the Pertemps, he'll need to come up a few pounds. So he's not going to be one of those non-triers to try and finish 3rd or 4th. I imagine that he'll be trying to win it if that's the plan, to get in the Pertemps. So yeah, that'll be the other one for me.
Perfect. Liam, do you want to tell us your 5 to watch?
Well, there's two on the 28th, one of which is the story so far for Charles Burns for a syndicate. He was absolutely smashed off the boards the other day. He's opened at 9, strictly to 11s, and was sent off 5-2 fav. The gamble didn't come off because he burst a blood vessel. He's definitely a winner in waiting, but he's ended up on the 28th at Limerick. The story so far. The other one is Will the Wise. He was given quite a nice kind of introductional review by Gavin Cromwell. He's part of the Have No Clue syndicate. I should probably be part of. So one who Gavin's he gave a good word for him. He threw him into the grey two at Navan, won by the Yellow Clay. He's a point winner. Other horses from that point have won and under rules. He was second mark behind Iranzi over a trip that's much too short. He'll have a mark after this race, so he's probably one for the people's trackers. But he's ended up on the 28th at Limerick, but also the 29th at Leopardstown. But Will the Wise, one for definitely further down the line. And then, yeah, I have a few others for the 29th, but I'm also conscious of people being bored by my voice.
No, go for it. Tell us your fancies on the 29th. Go for it.
So the 29th, we got Park that for Enda Bolger and JP McManus. This horse will win weight races this season. Again, he's probably one to review further down the line, but keep an eye on his run here. He's definitely good enough to win a maiden hurdle. He fell earlier this season, was third on his first start over 250 days ago. He's ended up on the 29th at Limerick. He will win a race with JP's money down on, so keep an eye on him. He's called Park that. This one will be a bet. A horse called River Vale for Michael Winters, again owned by a syndicate. He's got an official rating of 97. That's workable. He ran on nicely last time when he was sent off at a massive price. He's only really passing beaten horses, but he travelled well through the race and has done on his previous starts as well. That was in the race that was won by Carafon. There will be a day in the sun for him. I may potentially back him once I've seen final fields. That's the 29th of December at Limerick. And the final one is a horse called Way Down South, owned and trained by Gillian Scott. Again, a rating of 97. He was on the radar for the back end of the summer. He's running decent races, but you knew that they were just trying to get a mark. He's then been given some time off. He obviously can be in handicaps, but they're throwing him into a maiden hurdle again. That'll be just to blow the cobwebs off. He'll be a bet that the next time out, providing his price, and obviously once analysing the race. But he's ended up on the 29th at Limerick as well. So it's Will the Wise, Way Down South, the story so far, River Vale, and Park that. I think they've definitely got wins in them later this season. So perhaps a little bit more for the tracker, but one's worth following, I think.
Brilliant. Thank you, Liam. Jack, Alex, anything for the 29th?
No, nothing from me. Just that Grange Clear West is entered at Leopardstown. No, I've lost it. He's entered. Grange Clear West has entered somewhere anyway. Impressed me last season before he was. I think he was injured.
Grange, yeah. He's got a few issues.
So he had an issue anyway. Really impressed me at Leopardstown this time last year. Fancied them to win one of the chases at Cheltenham, but unfortunately he was injured. I think he'd have a big season. So just Grange Clear West just to watch to see how he is. But not on the 29th.
Perfect. Alex, anything?
Nothing else for me.
Okay, so we'll go with that. We'll go with naps.
What about you, Ian? Come on, 28th.
No, nothing for the 29th for me.
Oh.
We'll go in naps. Alex, do you want to give us your nap of the Christmas period, please?
Bit short, but a jukebox man just wins.
Liam?
Oh, sod it. I'll go adamantly chosen at 33-1 each way in the big Paddy.
Jack?
Mine is away from what we've covered. He runs in the second race at Aintree, and that's Western in the Park. He's currently a 7-4 shot. He's 13, general 13-8 shot, but a 7-4 shot. It's opened up 9-4. I threw a tweet out for people to get on if anyone see me tweet. But he's shortened quite a bit. This is over 2 mile, 4 furlongs. He's won over the Scipio. I think that's it's Scipio. That's where he'll want to be running at. You can see more of the times, but he does fine for a lot of pressure. He's rated 1-3-1, but I reckon he could be definitely a 140 horse at least. I think he could win here and then win again. Didn't like Cheltenham too much. Finished 2 out of 7. But I think if you watch the race back, I think it was just his class that got him through it. He didn't seem to enjoy it all too much. Like I said, he can be awkward at times, but with the pressure, it sort of gets him through it. I'm hoping there's a tiny bit of rain. Good to soften the description. I think he'll want soft, but I think come the time, I think it will be soft, especially after the first race. He was beat by that picky boy at Cheltenham last time out. Garjo Dreams in third that day. He ran a stormer in the December Gold Cup coming fourth. I just look through this field and think nothing challenges him at all. I think he's a strong bet for me. I've took 7-4. I couldn't get the 9-4 myself, but he's a strong bet on that 7-4. I don't think he'll be going off that in the day.
Brilliant, thank you, Jack. And I'll go with Leopardstown. I'll go with the long distance Novice Chase, and I'll go with Croke Park. Okay, thank you, gents. Thank you very much for joining us for the Christmas period festival video. Again, if you guys haven't followed Liam and Jack before, look on their socials, on their YouTube channels. They do the watch along videos as well. Have you got any coming up for Christmas in the new year?
Provided Jack don't get too drunk. Yeah, Ian. The 27th, so Welsh National Day. We're on. I say that, and I'm the only one who's missed one. 27th is the next one. Yeah, thanks, Ian, for letting us do a little plug.
And I believe me and Alex will probably be back on for our New Year's video. That'll probably be our next one. I would say we'll probably record on the 29th or the 30th, ready for it to come out on the 31st. But no, thank you for all you that are still watching. We're hour and a half in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We want to hear your comments. Do you agree with our naps and our picks? Let us know in the comments your picks for the Christmas period, and we'd like to hear from you. Thank you to everyone for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, lads. See you in a bit.